Well, hello, happy Friday. How are you? I'm Nisha Janice. I'm an attorney here in Florida, covering the goings on, the saga of the Daniel Markel unfortunate unaliving that was over 10 years ago now, still on the road to justice. Well, one of the main characters in this saga, as you well know, is Charlie Adelson. Charlie Adelson, who has been having one heck of a time. Charlie Adelson was convicted for his role in the unaliving of his former brother-in-law. As you know, he is currently in prison. I'm not sure where he is. I don't know if he's in North Dakota or South Dakota, one of the Dakotas. But he was transferred out of Florida quite a while ago after his conviction in the end of 2023. Well, he's been trying to get back into trial court for um, a retrial. We know that he has not filed his actual appeal yet. They haven't filed the appellate brief. They've been doing everything that they can to try and get Judge Everett to give him a new trial. Well, that's not happening. He's having no luck doing that. We all know that, all right? But what you may not know, I don't know. I didn't know about it. Maybe you guys have heard about it already, but I was, just doing some light research recently, and I came across a brand new lawsuit in which Charlie Adelson is named as the defendant. And this lawsuit is being brought in Miami-Dade County. Now, Miami-Dade County is where his parents moved to after living in Broward County. It's where his sister, Wendy Adelson, moved to after she left Tallahassee after Dan Markel was unalived. As far as I know, and I can't recall, correct me in the chat if I'm wrong, I don't know that Charlie Adelson lived in Miami-Dade County. Yet, here we are. So let's get right into this, y'all. I'm not going to waste your time. I just want to give you this information and, let the YouTube streets do what it do. So let me share my screen with you and first share. Here we go. Let's do it. Hold on. Let's do it like this. All right. So this is the docket in Miami-Dade County. And you'll see here that the plaintiff is LVNV Funding, LLC, versus Charles J. Adelson. This was filed on Christmas Eve, so almost 2 months ago. Now, Charlie has not been served with this lawsuit quite yet. And we'll see when we look at the order from the judge that he has about another month and a half before service has to be completed on him. Does he know about this yet? Possibly. And we'll get to why I think that could be the case in just a few moments when we get into, some more nitty-gritty. All right, so we'll see that this is an open status case. It is a contract. It's a breach of contract case between the jurisdictional amounts of $8,001 to $15,000. Again, the plaintiff is LVNV Funding, LLC, and the defendant is Charles Adelson. There's not too much on the docket yet, just the filing of the civil cover sheet and the complaint, the uniform order setting all the deadlines, which is a brand new requirement in the state of Florida. As of the beginning of 2025, there were a plethora of changes to the Florida rules of civil procedure. And one of them is that upon the filing of a complaint, the judge goes ahead and sets a lot of the critical dates in the case. And that can happen even before the defendant appears, even before the defendant is served. We'll see. So we'll take a look at that in a few moments as well. The summons was issued, and the uniform order has been mailed. But before we get into that, let's take a look at the complaint and see what we're talking about. See what Charles Adelson is in debt for. All right, here we go. In the county court in and for Miami-Dade County, we have the complaint. Comes now the plaintiff, LVNV Funding, buying through its undersigned counsel, and sues defendant Charles J. Adelson as follows. This is an action for damages within the jurisdictional limits of the court, exclusive of costs. The venue of this action is proper in the county name because defendant, Charlie, is a resident of this county, which he's not. We all know that, right? And or because the defendant executed a subject agreement in this county. Upon defendant's request, that's the creditor, the original creditor, Citibank NA, issued a credit account in the name of defendant. So this is a credit card issue, we'll see. Prior to the commencement of this action, the plaintiff, LVNV Funding, acquired defendant's account originated by the original creditor, and we'll see the assignment documents down in Exhibit A. And as such, is entitled to all rights originally bestowed upon the original creditor. So what does that mean? Citibank NA issued to Charles Adelson, as this is being alleged, a credit account, a credit card. Time went by, the credit card was not paid off, and the account holding the account for the credit card was eventually sold to the plaintiff, LVNV Funding. Happens all the time. 5, defendant applied for and received a credit account which is owned by the plaintiff. Defendant used or authorized the use of the account for acquisition of goods, services, balance transfers, or cash advances in accordance with the customer agreement governing use of the account with plaintiff. Defendant breached the agreement by failing to make periodic payments as required thereby, and the account was subsequently charged off. The entire balance in the account is owed to plaintiff and is presently due and payable in full. The current account balance is $11,657.04, which includes any applicable payments and credits. The account is not accruing post-charge-off interest. In accordance with federal regulations, monthly periodic statements for the account have been provided to the defendant. Based on plaintiff's records, there are no unresolved billing disputes related to the account. So defendant hasn't said anything like, hey, these charges are fraudulent, or I didn't make these charges, or, it's the wrong amount. They haven't disputed anything related to this account. Through its undersigned attorney, plaintiff has demanded payment from defendant, but defendant has not satisfied such demand. Plaintiff has performed all conditions precedent to the filing of this action, or all such conditions precedent have occurred. So this is a two-count complaint, really. The first count is for breach of contract, and the second count is for account stated. So let's go through those real quick. The plaintiff readopts and realleges the allegations 1 through 9 above and states as follows. The issuance of a credit account constitutes the offer of a contract. We all know breach of contract requires certain things, and you need to plead each of the elements of a cause of action. So for breach of a contract, there has to be a contract. A contract is formed through an offer and acceptance of something, an offer of something, an acceptance of something, consideration, right? There has to be some bargain for exchange. And that's what creates a contract. A breach of contract would require a default in the terms of one of those elements. So the issuance of a credit account constitutes the offer of a contract. I'm not going to go through and read all the citations here, but if you want to look that up, take a screenshot. Even in the absence of such an agreement, the issuance of the credit account constitutes an offer of credit, and the use of the credit account constitutes the acceptance of the offer of credit. So see in that paragraph, they are alleging that there was an offer and that there was an acceptance of the contract. So by using and or authorizing the use of the credit account, defendant accepted the contract with plaintiff and became bound to pay for all charges incurred with the credit account. Defendant also became subject to all of the terms and conditions of the credit agreement. Attached hereto as Exhibit B is a copy of that credit agreement. 12, defendant defaulted in the payment obligation on the credit account. Such a breach of contract proximately caused the plaintiff damages in the amount of the balance due on the credit account. So you have to plead that there are some damages that were caused by the breach of that contract, and that those damages were proximately caused or related, rather, to the breach. All right, so they attach as Exhibit C copies of the account statements, a few of the account statements. There's only 2 attached. Defendant is presently indebted to plaintiff in the amount of $11,657.04. Plaintiff seeks judgment for such sum and court costs. Let me just skip down to count 2, which is account stated. Just want to get to the juicy bits, right? All right. 14. Before the institution of this action, plaintiff's predecessor in interest, which would be Citibank, and the defendant, Charles J. Adelson, had business transactions between them where the parties agreed upon a resulting balance. Plaintiff is an assignee and as such obtains all rights of the original creditor to be repaid. When you have an assignment, the assignee steps into the shoes of the assignor and is able to assert any cause of action that the assignor would have against anybody. They really step into the shoes. So they take over any of the rights and obligations that the assignor had. Let's see. Did I read 14? I think I did. All right, 15. There are no unresolved billing disputes made in response to receiving the account statements, and therefore there is a prima facie case establishing the correctness of the account balance. Copies of any available statements are attached here too and are incorporated as composite Exhibit C. So by using and or making payments on the subject account, the defendant accepted the resulting balance. After adjustment for any credits or payments made after charge off of the account, defendant owes plaintiff LVNB funding the amount of $11,657.04. And we see that the law firm that's bringing this is Andrew, Palma, Lavin, and Solis. I'm not familiar with them, but maybe we will get familiar with them. All right, so let's look at these exhibits. Exhibit A is the assignment of rights from Citibank to, let's see, it looks like Citibank originally sold the account to Resurgent Acquisitions, LLC. And then there's another transfer and assignment. Resurgent Acquisitions then sold it. See, hereby transfer sells, assigns to LVNV funding. And that LVNV is the plaintiff in this case. All right. So that establishes the plaintiff's standing here. Exhibit B is the credit card agreement that allegedly was entered into by one Mr. Charlie Adelson. Definitely not reading through this, right? Oh my gosh, it's long. All right, and then credit card disclosures. Let's see their APR. 31.49%. My goodness. Wow. All right, Exhibit C. This should be the statements, account statements. We'll see that it is a Wayfair credit card or account that was provided to Charlie Adelson. This is going back to March of 2023. I think this is the later statement, though. So there's an earlier statement. Okay, so here's the first curious thing about this. And let me know if anybody has any insight into this. This is a credit card bill, right? That you get to your home, right? There's an address on it. The address is an address in Maryland. Do we know of Charles Adelson having a connection in Maryland in the early 2020s, 2022, 2023? If you know of that, write something in the chat. Let me know. Because I don't recall ever hearing of any connection to Maryland. And specifically, I don't think I'm doxing because he doesn't live there. We know where he lives. And this is a very old statement. But this is an address in Maryland. And this was back in 2023. So this was before he was arrested. So let me know. All right, this is the second. This is the second account statement. And here we get a little bit more detail about maybe what was being purchased. I don't know if you guys can see. Let me zoom in a little bit more. There's a few things that are a little bit curious, a little strange in my opinion. So these are the transactions, right? And you'll see that there's transactions July 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th, 19th, the 25th, the 27th, and then into August. And every day, each of those days, are new charges. A few $100s. This is 487, 216, 430, 87. This one is $1,700. And then there's a PayPal charge. I don't know what that's for, but that's $2,000. A 7-Eleven charge, and this is in Arlington, Virginia. If you're unfamiliar with it, that area is called the DMV area. It's Virginia, Maryland, and DC. So they're all very close to each other. People live in one area and work in another area. So it's almost like it's like a tri-state area. It's almost like if you're in New York City and you live in Brooklyn or you live in Queens or even Jersey, and you commute into the city. So it's kind of sort of like that setup. So to see Virginia on here in Arlington, Virginia, the location is not suspicious to me. And then down below you see a DC location, but I don't know. It's complete speculation. Let me see. Let me look at the comments real quick. Is Bree from Maryland? I don't know where Bree is from. I know she definitely is now, but something in my memory thinks she may have been from there, but I don't know. So I actually don't know. Yeah, I don't know where Bree is from. I was like, could this possibly be related? Wayfair, if you don't know, is furniture, home goods, online retailer. let me just show you real quick some of what Wayfair has. So this is the Wayfair website, right? So lots of home decor, lots of um, appliances and bedroom sets and rugs and throw pillows and stuff like that. That's what Wayfair has. So um, going back to what these charges might be, I was like, I wonder if they were around the birth of his son, but this was back in 2022. I don't know what year his son was born. I thought it was earlier than 2022. So I don't know. I'll leave that. I'll leave that up to the YouTube streets to find out and discover maybe. But so this is what we have. These were all the attachments to all the exhibits to the complaint. All right. So let me just show you one other thing. All right. This is the Uniform Case Management Order. And this is the UCM order that now is going to be a matter of course in all new filings in the state of Florida, civil filings anyway, as of the beginning of 2025. So we'll see here, and I'm not going to read through all of this, but like I told you earlier, it goes ahead and sets dates that things are going to be due by. So we'll see that plaintiff has until April 23rd, 2025 to serve this complaint on Charlie Adelson, right? And that they won't have any time beyond, what is that, July 22nd, 2025 to serve. So they may get extensions of time to serve, but they're not going to get beyond this July 22nd date. There's some other dates here: fact witness, exhibit lists, expert witness. It's really just setting the case up to move. Everybody has these target dates in mind so that things aren't just languishing in the courts for years with nothing happening. So I think that was part of the purpose behind um, excuse me, behind instituting this UCF order. Now, if I had questions about it being the actual Charles Adelson because of that weird Maryland address, somehow they have tied the Charles J. Adelson from that weird Maryland address to the Adelson's Miami Beach address, which we know is in Brickell, because that court order, has to be mailed, and it was mailed. We have a notice of mailing here on, end of January 21st. And the certificate of service said it was mailed by regular U.S. mail to defendant Charles Adelson at this Brickell address, which everybody knows. We're not doxing. He doesn't even live there. So it's the same individual. He has not yet been served with this complaint because there is no service yet in the docket. But as we see, the plaintiff has mailed that order to the that Miami address. So somebody knows about it. If somebody's checking the mail, if Harvey is there, do we know if Harvey is in Miami or if he's in Texas? I don't know. But if anybody is checking the mail at that Brickell address, they will have seen this order, this court order. Um, and, hopefully it would pique their interest and they'd get somebody on it. I don't know. It's not a huge amount of money. It's under $12,000. So I'm unsure why this is like an outstanding thing. Are they out of money? Has Charles Adelson run out of money? If not, he hasn't disputed the amount that's alleged in the complaint, that the amount is not in dispute, but it hasn't been paid for some reason. So let me get into the chat, scroll back up to the top, and see what you guys have to say. Hi, Bishan Mama. Bishan Mama was officially the first person in the stream, so big ups to you. Hello. Hello. Top Cat, of course, you join all the time. My fave, hello. And happy Valentine's Day. If you're in the States, you know that we celebrate or don't celebrate Valentine's Day here. So happy Valentine's Day to you. If nobody's told you yet, I love you. Thanks for being here. Hello, Eva Poel, sorry. Hello from Holland. Awesome. Hi, Clarissa. I thought so. Top Cat, I wasn't sure if this was covered or not. I did a rudimentary glance at, some of our top favorite creators, and I didn't see anything about it. So I sat on it for a few days, and I was like, you know what? Let me just tell the people. Let me just share this information with everybody. The more we know, right? Hi, T. Cancella. Hello. That's okay. You can always rewind, get to the top. Didn't miss that much. No interest accruing. They didn't. Let me see something. They didn't ask for attorney's fees. They didn't ask for attorney's fees. 11,657. I'm trying to see what the amount says on here. That's the September 6, 2022. 1 second. All right. So it's just for the ballots. So they're not going for any kind of attorney's fees at all. All right. Let's get back to the chat. A local case for you? Wait, where is this rose petal murder case? I've seen the headline, but I haven't followed this case. A cell phone that was cell right downloaded by the state in 2021 to get deleted, encrypted. What? Oh, who is their expert? Can we get them in this case? Yeah, people are saying, watch out, Wendy. The glimmer of hope. Yes, apparently. This is not the first case where bills have been in dispute. Yeah, Top Cat, you would know, right? You would know if there was a connection to Maryland. I was racking my brain and I was like, what does this have to do with Maryland? I did look up the address. I'm not telling you guys to do that. In fact, don't. I don't know who lives there. The property is not owned by Adelsons, as far as I can see. Um, Actually, I guess I can show you. Let me show you the street view. Should I show you the street view of the property? All right. Okay. So I just went to see what this address was, and this is what is at that address. This. That just kind of threw me even more for a loop. So just wanted to share that with you. Um, the Adelson Defense Fund is being paid for by their slumlord housing. Yeah, I got to check to see what's going on with their the Broward properties. Thank you, Mr. C. Good to see you too. Enjoying your content. I appreciate that. Thank you. Hi, Tennis Girl. Good to see you as well. Oh, thanks, you guys. I appreciate that. Let's see. I know she definitely is now talking about Brie, I believe. Yeah. But something in my memory thinks she may have been from there, but I don't know. So I actually don't know why. No, we love you chiming in. We love you chiming in. Stream of consciousness, right? Yeah, I don't know where she was before Florida, but were they even together in 2022? Did he go back to June at all? Because June was with him, and then they were on a break, and then he got with Bree, right, and got her pregnant. When was Roman born? Hold on, let me look this up real quick. That's gonna bother me. Okay, Reddit is saying, and you guys, it's Reddit, so 2018 that she was pregnant. So that's well before 2022 when these charges were made on the credit card, on the Wayfair credit card. But what if the charges were for baby stuff or toddler stuff? A new crib, a toddler bed. That could easily account for those charges. A new bed, a new changing table, a dresser or something. You know what I mean? I feel like that could easily cover the Wayfair charges that we saw, those daily charges. But I don't know. Pure speculation. Pure speculation. Maybe he was extorted too, but that stuff. uh, Tegan Sell says she went to college in Florida, I believe. So Charlie said on stand, which isn't saying much. Oh, yeah, yeah. That's what we see. Tegan Sell, 2018. Mr. C asks, "How's Chuckles going to pay it back? Because he's making 15 cents an hour while he's in while he's in prison. It's going to take a while. It's going to take a while. It's a good thing that he's there for the rest of his life." Wow. Yes, Harvey will have to sort it out. Can you just imagine if Wendy has actually left the vicinity and left Harvey here in South Florida all alone? Can you just imagine the burden that he has on himself Try, trying to deal with all this stuff. Now, listen, I talk about the mental load of being a being a wife and a mother of a small child and, a worker. It's a lot. It's a lot that you have to think of. Um, yeah, I'm just thinking he doesn't have small children or anything, and he's not working, but he probably has a mental load of knowing that he has loved ones in jail and other loved ones who maybe have abandoned him, or maybe he feels like she has abandoned him. You don't know. Um, but yeah, I don't envy his position, but that's the family that he has, right? T. Kinsella says, I wonder how much they have already paid in legal fees for defense counsel and how much more defense will cost going forward. Hard to get sick or arrested. Will Wendy help out the ones in prison? Absolutely not. I'm thinking absolutely not. You know, uh, they they still got the rental properties, so that is income coming in, but a lot is going out. A lot is going out between the appellate process, the um, the legal criminal process. Wendy, her flight. That's a lot. That's a lot. Hi, July Sweet Breeze. Hello from Vancouver. This family keeps going on. Charlie should be history, but no, they are so narcissist, impossible for them to live in the dark. Well, yeah, it's kind of like this story that just keeps giving. So, yeah. More speculation, more wild speculation. Thumper's asking, hi, Thumper, did Charlie get somebody in addition to Bree pregnant? Somebody living in Maryland? Oh, God, please stop. We don't know that. We don't know that. We haven't heard that yet. Um, Maybe I should check to see if there's any like paternity actions against him in Maryland. You know what? That's going to be my homework. I'm going to do a little bit more digging and see if I can't find anything else out. But I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, like Tennis Girl says, let's hope not. We don't need any more innocent victims, right? Tennis Girl, I wonder if someone related to Katie and that part of stuff she was asking before she was arrested. Hmm. In Maryland? I don't know. I don't know. And Mr. C saying, don't forget that Scott Radius pocketed over 100K for the Vietnam villa. Would love to see Scott Radius at the Donna trial. He may be there. You never know. You never know. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get up to the trial. You know, Rashbaum really messed me up because that trial in when was it? It was going to be September. I was going to go up. My son was going to be in school for full school days. Well, now with it being the beginning of summer, um, I don't know that I can swing it because even if I put him into summer camp, that's like a half day. So I don't see me being able to get up to Tallahassee, unfortunately, as much as I want to be there. We'll see. Based on this last case management hearing, as much as Judge Everett was saying that this trial is not getting delayed again, in the unlikely event that it does, maybe, just maybe, um, if it gets delayed into the fall, perhaps I can swing it then. But the summer is just not going to work, I think. All right. Let me get these last couple of chats in here and then I'll let y'all go. Hey, New York Patriot lady, good to see you. Thanks for joining. Thumper says, I remember that Charlie had a jail call with an old girlfriend who half listened to him. Don't we all just only half listen to him because he just rambles on? She was further north. I wonder if she was in the DC area. Only northernly character I can think of. A jail call with an old girlfriend. I wonder who that was. Yeah, I don't know. Stuff to furnish the Vietnam villa. I don't know. I don't know. Let me take one last look at the list of the list of things in that account statement. Let me pull it up for you guys. You see that? It's just so weird that there's these high amounts and then all of a sudden somebody just goes to 7-Eleven with the card, I guess. Get something, gets like a hot dog and a soda for $3. And then this Carla Cakes and Company, this is like a square payment. You know those, like if you go to the farmer's market or something and the vendor takes credit card and they pull out the little square payment thing. That's a square payment for $5,000. The TV was five. Y'all, wait. Hmm. All right, I'm gonna have to let you go because I could talk for a while about this. I did just look up Carla Cakes. $5,000. Um, Facebook page. All right, this is the Instagram page. This was the $5,000 entry, I believe. Carla Coachella Cakes, Peruvian Taste in Miami. There's a Miami connection. Turn your sweetest ideas into reality. Artisan desserts and custom cakes. Hmm. Oh, that looks delicious, y'all. Oh, wow. That looks really yummy. All right. Well, I'm not logged into my Instagram, so um yeah, you can see like the literal rabbit hole that you can just go down just trying to get information. So, anyways, that's all that I have for you for today. So, I will let you guys do your thing and hope to see you guys again soon. Have a wonderful weekend. Have a wonderful Valentine's Day. I love you. Heart. There you go. All right. Peace out, guys. Bye.